Legend has it that there was a stunningly beautiful banshee living in the lake. Her entire body was covered with crystal shards and precious jewels. Countless people tried to claim her for themselves, but none of them ever returned. One day, another army entered the jungle. Along the way, a knight discovered a golden shard. After checking it carefully, he realized it was real. At that moment, the soldiers had no idea. This journey would bring them a deadly fate. The banshee also sensed the intrusion. She rose slowly from the water and began to sway her graceful body. The soldiers were instantly mesmerized. Then the banshee let out a piercing scream. They completely lost their sanity. Swinging their swords, they turned on one another. Driven mad, they rushed toward the banshee, and so every soldier perished there. The lake's surface was instantly stained red with blood. The siren's scream carried lethal power, yet something puzzled the banshee. One man had survived. No matter how fiercely she screamed, he remained unaffected, because this man, Jack, was deaf. That unexpected fact sparked the siren's curiosity. As night fell, Jack collapsed asleep in the forest. The banshee emerged from the water once again. She gently touched Jack with curiosity, then curled up beside him and spent the night that way. When Jack woke up the next morning, the first thing he saw was glittering jewelry. Instinctively, he grabbed the banshee beside him, but she broke free from his grasp. When he saw the jewelry in his hand, he immediately chased after her. When he reached the waterfall, the banshee thought Jack had fallen in love with her. Shy and flustered, she hid behind the waterfall, but Jack's heart was filled with greed. Desire overcame his fear of the raging current. He dropped his sword and walked toward her without hesitation. The banshee believed she had found true love. She deliberately approached Jack. The two began to kiss. The crystal on her lips cut Jack, catching her off guard. Jack slammed her head first onto the rocks. Seeing the banshee lose consciousness, Jack decisively tore the scales from her body. Blood instantly flooded over the rocks. Until the banshee was stripped completely bare, Jack shoved her back into the lake. Carrying a heavy bag of gold and jewels, he prepared to leave. The siren's blood began to spread, slowly turning the entire lake crimson. Exhausted and desperate with thirst, Jack had no choice but to take a sip of the lake water. Moments later, strange sounds filled his ears. Jack had miraculously regained his hearing. The sensation filled him with overwhelming terror. At the same time, the unconscious banshee awakened. She saw her broken, mutilated body and realized she had been deceived and betrayed. A desperate scream shattered the silence of the forest. This time, with his hearing restored, Jack could no longer resist the damage. He clutched his ears in agony and uncontrollably walked into the blood-red lake. Only then did the banshee understand. Men were all the same. The reason Jack had resisted her power before was simply because he was deaf. After drinking her blood, he regained his hearing. Just like every other man, he only wanted her treasure. But the banshee had mistaken his actions for love, and that misunderstanding led to her suffering. In the end, Jack received the punishment he deserved. Like all greedy invaders before him, he was buried forever at the bottom of the lake.